Welcome to Digital Asset News. We're taking the top stories in cryptocurrency and digital assets and break it down into bite-sized pieces. So before we get started, let's do a little housekeeping. First of all, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial planner. I'm not a financial analyst. Do not take my advice. Do your own research. Make good decisions. Secondly, help us beat the YouTube algorithm. The only way to do that, the only way to beat the YouTube algorithm monster is to hit that like button. Without that, this video will die a slow, horrible death. That's the first thing you can do. The second thing to beat or kill the YouTube algorithm is leave a comment. Whatever it is that you feel or you think about this video, please leave that down below. It could be good, could be bad, doesn't matter, but make sure it is on topic to the video that you're watching right now. And the third way to beat the YouTube algorithm, most importantly, is to subscribe. If you like videos like this, we're going to give you the best information day after day, break it out of bite-sized pieces, so you have to sift through all the information that's out there. So let's get started on today's topics. First of all, as things start to progress, and as things start to pick up, and as the market starts to rapidly increase and perhaps go to the moon, I want you to remember these two articles we're going to talk about, and they are about scams. As time moves forward, you're going to see more and more of these types of situations come about. More people are going to want to take your hard-earned money. Now again, not financial advice, for entertainment purposes only. However, this is like a PSA or a public service announcement. Watch out for scams, because they're everywhere. In the first up, these motherfuckers. 5 people charged in New Jersey, in a $722 million cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme. Also, the SEC is bringing charges against a crypto entrepreneur who illegally raised $42 million and spent those funds on dating and rent. So, as time moves forward, as you start to see all these different fantastic cryptocurrencies coming out that don't do a goddamn thing, remember these stories, because they will save you from losing a lot of your money. And last up, let's talk about something positive. ING Bank wants to give clients a compliant way to store cryptocurrency. So let's get into it. First up, the 5 that were charged in New Jersey in almost $1 billion cryptocurrency Ponzi scheme. These are the defendants operated Bitclub network, never heard of that, a bogus investment scheme that they promoted as the most transparent company in the history of the world and too big to fail. That is hilarious. Funny right now, but not so funny for the people that lost all their money. Remember that all these stories that we talk about, all these things that are going on, there are people behind these stories, and a lot of these people got screwed over royally by shucksters and scam artists and Ponzi scheme masters. So take it with a grain of salt, but there are people out there that have lost a lot of their money. And every time I hear Ponzi scheme, I think of Bernie Madoff, and a lot of people lost their money that way. A lot of families and lives were destroyed. So think about that as people start to talk about all these great cryptocurrency and digital assets out there. Anyhow, moving forward, it states here 5 people have been charged with defrauding investors of $722 million using promises of huge returns if they joined a cryptocurrency investing club while privately deriding their clients as sheep and idiots, the United States Attorney's Office in New Jersey said on Tuesday. The network asked investors to join in a pool to share in the earnings from Bitcoin mining. Now, as indictment unsealed, the United States District Court in Newark charged Matthew Goach, 37, of Lafayette, Colorado, Jobadiah Weeks, 38, of Arvada, Colorado, and Silvio Balaci, who was arrested in Germany with conspiracy to commit wire fraud and conspiracy to offer and sell unregistered securities. Joseph Abel, 49, of Camarillo, California, was charged with conspiracy to offer and sell unregistered securities. So you can see right here, it doesn't matter if you're in the States or abroad, you're going to be brought to justice for screwing people over and messing with the system and pretty much effing everything up. Now, these are growing pains, but these are things that have to be eliminated. That is why I keep harping on the fact that there has to be regulation. The government has to step in. The SEC is already there, but we need more regulations in place, or this kind of crap is going to keep happening. And if these things keep happening, more investors and institutions are going to get afraid, and they're going to say, nope, we're not going to do this. And do you really want to wait another 10 or 20 more years to people to get into the game because there's not enough regulation? I say bring the regulation right now. Anyhow, moving forward, the indictment said the defendants operated Bitclub network from October 2014 until this month. Amazing. Until this month, they had this Ponzi scheme going for that long of time. And also it states the club's marketing materials describe the network as an almost surefire way to get rich. Now right there, I'm going to stop. If you hear anything that says this is a guarantee, this will happen, it's almost a probability. It's 90% there. Run for the hills because it is a effing lie. According to the indictment, in one video, a Bitclub network defendant promised club members that an investment of about $3,600 could yield a return of $250,000 over 3 years, calling that a very conservative estimate, the indictment said. Now, here at Digital Asset News, we will always preface it with this, that the information that we put out are things that are freely available across the internet, and to do your own research, and this is not financial advice, and we are not financial planners. So there's a difference between reporting the news and someone coming to you and saying, this is a surefire way, or this is a pretty good bet, or this is pretty good. You should put your money on this. Don't listen to those people. Most of the time, they don't know what they're talking about. And also, people do technical analysis. Do you know that 9 out of 10 people who do trades, lose money? 9 out of 10. Not great odds. Anyhow, let's move on. SEC, crypto entrepreneur legally raised $42 million, spent funds on dating and rent. Well, what else would you do it? The SEC's complaint claims that between August 2017 and April 2018, wow, that's a pretty short amount of time, United Data founder Aaron Isle fraudulently sold unregistered securities via an ICO for Shopin tokens. This is why they're so big on ICOs. They cracked down. 2017 was the year of the ICO, and 2018. And that's when that stuff all went away, which was good. Clearly states here, it's supposed to be used, or capital raised by selling Shopin tokens was supposed to be used to create shopper profiles that track purchase histories across online retailers, which were purportedly to be maintained by a blockchain. According to the SEC, Shopin never created a functional platform, despite raising $42 million. Now, if you're new to this space and you haven't been around for as long as we have, I can remember in 2017 when a white paper, a promise of what blockchain could potentially do could make you millions, because it was just something that was new and people didn't really understand it, and they thought, well, this is the next big thing, and people got taken for a lot of money. So as we move forward, hopefully, as you're watching these videos and you're starting to learn more about digital assets and cryptocurrencies, you'll be aware of the type of garbage that goes on in this space. And it's not about what a cryptocurrency and digital asset can potentially do. It is, does it have utility, and can it be used, and is it being used right now? Right now, is this digital asset or this cryptocurrency being functional? So that's why I'm a big believer in XRP, because right now it has partnerships, real partnerships, not that bullshit that Tron makes up, real partnerships that come about. So they are working with banks, they are working with CEOs, they are working with regulators. XRP and Ripple has a plan. I see it happening before us. Not financial advice, entertainment purposes only, but that's just how I see it. People are using certain cryptocurrencies, digital assets, the other ones are just vaporware, and that's the truth. So just be aware of what's out there and be careful. And moving forward, it says, with this action, there's no doubt plenty of goons who raise money by hyping similarly non-existent partnerships getting very sweaty right now. The SEC hasn't forgotten. And that's why I just mentioned Tron. Justin Sun is a hell of a marketer. But with marketing, sometimes there's a little bit of lying going on. And some of the partnerships that he has talked about in the past have turned out to be complete fabrications and just lies. So you have to be aware of it's not about what people say, but what they're doing behind the scenes and what is reality. So be aware of that. All right, enough of the negative. Let's go turn to our last article, talk about something positive. ING Bank wants to give clients a compliant way to store cryptocurrency. So major Dutch bank ING is developing technology so that its clients can safely store digital assets like cryptocurrencies, Reuters reports, citing sources familiar with the matter. This is pretty big because ING, that's a big, huge bank globally. So if they're getting into the fray and they're seeing that there is a positive or there is an ability for them to make their mark in cryptocurrencies, then this is great news. This goes along the lines with Bank of America and Fidelity, all these financial institutions that are legacy, that are old-time institutions, brick and mortar places that are actually getting into the fray. So I like to see stories like this. Huge. Goes on to say, while Coinbase is certainly a trusted exchange, for a household name like ING to offer similar services would only be a boon for the digital asset industry. Now you have to remember, if you're listening to this video, you're 1%. You're the 1 to 3% of people out there, and people call you crazy. I get it. They call us crazy too. But that's just the way it is because we're first adopters, and we have to bring this to the masses. Now, these types of companies to step in, big household names, Bank of America, Fidelity, now ING, to get into the fray, this just lends credibility. And when people hear these names plus cryptocurrency, or ING plus Bitcoin, ING plus Ethereum, ING plus XRP, whatever your favorite cryptocurrency is, it's going to start to shake things up, and people are going to start to realize that, hey, this is a real thing, and I really need to actually start to look into investing. I do a lot of marketing for my companies, and I can tell you this, that people are lazy, and people are forgetful, and their attention span is slowly being eradicated. So people need to see these types of information, these types of pieces, 8 to 10 times before they get it through their head. There's a term in sales, you have to see it 10 times before you actually buy it. So you can drive down the street, you can see a billboard for a car. Then you see it in the newspaper. Then maybe you see it on the internet. And all of a sudden you've seen it so many times, that's when you start to, there's like a tipping point. You're like, okay, I want that car. Same thing's going to happen with cryptocurrencies and digital assets. Once people start seeing this, and not the crazy stories, or not the things that we tell our family, it has to come from multiple sources for them to all get it. And once they do, then things take off. So that is the plan. That is the plan for what's going to happen. I see it happening. I see it starting to happen during the Bitcoin halving, May 2020, and a year after. Once that happens, if you believe in supply and demand, then that will be the time. So right now, what we are doing is just accumulating, not doing much else, sitting back, waiting for the big fireworks show, and just waiting for everything to happen. Last part of this article, I do want to say that it states here, not all banks are sold in the idea. However, earlier this year, Hard Fork reported that another Dutch institution, ABN AMRO ING, shelved plans for a custodial cryptocurrency wallet, citing lack of interest. So we will see. So there's a lot of different articles out there, a lot of different things that are positive and negative. It's all going to come out in the wash, and we're going to see what happens. Now, I truly believe that cryptocurrency digital assets will take off. There are too many partnerships, and there's too many institutions getting the game. Do you think that the New York Stock Exchange, the World Bank, IMF are all getting into this, these central banks, because they have nothing better to do? Believe me, the only reason that these types of institutions get into the game is to make a massive amount of money. And that's just how we see it. All right, thanks for watching the video. If you would be so kind to help us beat the YouTube algorithm, help us kill that, help us slay it by just clicking on the like button. It helps tremendously. Comment on this video, and of course subscribe. We can bring you a digital asset news video every single day. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.